The more and more I live, the more and more I realize it just comes down to one thing. There's one reason why you are not who you want to be, one reason why your dreams are not coming true. There's one thing separating where you are from where you want to be, and that's feelings. If somebody held a gun to your head and said you're going to start taking the steps to make your dream come true right this second, and they also had you hooked up to a lie detector that was infallible, and they said, are you, every hour we're going to ask you if you're taking the steps, all the steps needed to make your dream come true with this lie detector. And if you do, and if you are, and you answer yes, because you're doing it, you get to live another hour. You would make your dreams come true. You know it. It would be a piece of cake. You might not enjoy the initial process. It would be a lot of pressure and you'd be terrified. But after someone kept asking you with that gun pressed to your head every hour for a few days, few weeks, you would start to get momentum, you'd start to get in the motion, and pretty soon I bet it wouldn't be as scary. It would actually you would start to get used to it. And then I bet after a year, if you built all kinds of amazing things because you know you would, and all kinds of amazing things started happening, I bet after a year you would actually start to see that person holding the gun as the biggest blessing ever and not the most horrible, terrifying terrorist you ever encountered. And I bet if they took the gun away and they took the lie detector away after 2 years, after you'd built this incredible dream, all your dreams coming true, you would continue. You wouldn't run back to your old life. You would continue in what was started. So it's not that you can't do it. It's that you won't. And why won't you? Because you don't feel like it. Now, you justify that by saying, I can't do it until X, Y, and Z are lined up. And that's not going to be till next week. And X won't even be till next week. Y won't be for 6 months. Z, I don't even know if it'll ever happen, but I hope it'll happen in the next year or two. And that's why I'm sitting on the couch right now watching TV. And deep down in your soul somewhere, you know that's garbage. You know that's not true. You know that you could get up right now and start making it happen without X, Y, or Z. It would feel harder. It would feel not as good. In your mind, to make your dreams come true, things have to be lined up so every step of the way it feels good. Not only is the end result exciting and your dreams coming true, but every step towards it feels exciting, and every step towards it feels amazing. And so when those steps aren't lined up right, you sit on the couch and wait and dream and think. And what am I going to tell you? What do you know from reading any biography of any person who ever did amazing things? You know. There are no steps that feel good every step of the way. That's not a thing. In fact, the very way you become amazing is through a lot of suffering, but not suffering in vain, suffering on the way to your dreams, because each step as you're suffering towards your dreams, the suffering isn't wasted suffering. It's not bad suffering that hurts you. It's good suffering because it's breaking away your weak parts. It's breaking away your insecurities. It's breaking away your fears. And those processes hurt, but they feel great on the other side. Just like exercise hurts, but it feels great months later when suddenly you can get out of bed without feeling like you're sick every day, and suddenly you can move around and you feel strong, and suddenly you can do things you couldn't do before, and suddenly you have the vitality you haven't had in years. And suddenly you have self-confidence. There's 10 amazing things that feel great after you exercise a lot. But during the exercise, it actually feels good during the exercise too, but it does hurt. It always hurts. It will hurt. So you could be making your dreams come true right now, but it doesn't feel like you could. And you are letting the feeling be your master. And that's all it is. Like, feelings make terrible masters. They make great servants, because feelings afterwards as a reward are like your best buddies. They make your life amazing. But feelings helping you decide whether or not to go, they're terrible masters. They don't know what they're doing. It's like a whole bunch of children. I said this in another video. It's like getting a whole bunch of toddlers and telling them to plan your life. No, they're going to plan for you to eat ice cream every day and watch TV all day. Like, that's what toddlers would plan for you. Toddlers should not be planning your life. But if you plan your life and you make your life amazing, and then you happen to have a bunch of kids that you can care for and they're in the toddler stage, well, then they're fun and you love them because you can take care of them because you made the decision for your life to do things that were good. Same with your feelings. Your feelings are just a whole bunch of little toddlers up in here. And if you listen to them and you let them tell you how to do your life is going to be horrible. Horrible. And it's going to always be horrible. It will never get better. So while you're sitting there thinking about, I wish I could do this, I wish this would happen, let me tell you, you could be doing it now. You're not doing it because it feels like things are not ready. And it feels like if you do it without things being ready, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be less than ideal. It's going to be not as fun. It's going to be painful. And that might be true. But if you start doing your dreams and let that pain just be, you'll get through it and you will feel better than you feel sitting on the couch in all your luxury with all your favorite snacks, just wasting away, becoming more unhealthy, every cell in your body becoming less able to function correctly because you are a human engine that was made to perform, not to sit. Your brain was made to help you calculate tasks, not to live in la la land and just ponder the what ifs. So that's it. Feelings. This is, I forget which side I started on, but this is you sitting on the couch being sad, thinking about your dreams. This is feelings, and these are your dreams coming true. You can move from here to here right now. You can move right there. But you have to push through the feelings and tell them to shut up and knock them out of the way. And that feels scary, bad, wrong, almost impossible. It feels wrong. You have to get up and go against what feels right. That's why you're not doing it. That's why 99.9% of people don't do it, because they never get past that stage. You have to understand, people really honestly believe that your feelings tell you the truth. Your feelings dictate how things should be. I just feel that. An intuition is valid and a gut feeling is valid. But feeling like things have to be just perfect. There's a verse that I never understood, maybe until today when I connected the whole thing. It says, those who love wine and oil will never be rich. And I always thought that meant like those who love, indulging in the soft pleasures of life will never be disciplined enough to do the hard things to be rich, or in this case, to be successful, to go out and get all the things you want. And I think there's an element of truth to that, but it would always like, whenever I would indulge in something I liked, I would feel a little bit guilty, like, is this pulling me back from what I really want to do? And it might not have been until today that I realized that's not exactly it, that you can indulge in anything you want. The thing is, when you love wine and oil and everything, what you're doing, you're loving the soft pleasures more than loving your dreams come true. And it's not indulging them that's bad. It's that when you indulge them, you sit around and don't do the things you really want to do. When you have too much wine, when you have too much oil, is referencing, I believe, like comfort foods, pastries, fries, stuff like that. And it could be anything for you. It could be watching TV. It could be anything. But it's when you indulge in the soft pleasures of life, you don't make your dreams come true. And it's not that you can't indulge. You can indulge all you want if you are simultaneously making your dreams come true. But that the dreams have to come first. Making the dreams come true have to come first. The indulgence has to come second. So sometimes it doesn't get done. If you can only do one thing today and you want to do two, and one of them is make yourself feel good and the other one is get stuff done towards your dream, the dream always has to be the priority. So this one gets done, and then if you're left with the pleasures, the indulgences, and you never have time to do them, and the end of the day comes, well, that's what has to be sacrificed, not your dreams. And most people do the opposite. They do the bare minimum they show up at work because they're afraid to get fired. They move and they only do the bare minimum to stay away from fear. But then when it comes time to their free time and they can do all kinds of amazing things, they choose the pleasures, the easiest things, the movies, the Netflix, the pastries, the beer, the wine, the comfy couch. And there's nothing wrong with any of them, but they choose those before their dreams. And then somehow there's never really time to get to their dreams. Maybe next week, maybe next year, maybe when everything is lined up just the way I would like them to be in a fairy tale, so nothing is hard and every single step is full of perfect excitement and pleasure and no pain. You decide what you want at the end of the day. But I can promise you, those pleasures and that wine and oil at the end of the day they turn dark and gross and monstrous, and they betray you, because in the end you feel like crap. You feel bloated. You feel sick. You feel nauseous. It's not just that your dreams don't come true, it's that the pleasures stop even giving you pleasure. Their richness and their sharpness starts to fade, and you don't even take pleasure in them anymore because they become dull. They've robbed you of your dreams, and they don't even deliver what they originally promised. So you decide what you want to do. I'm telling you, there's only one way, and you're just delaying it. So stop listening to your feelings and take a step out into scary, radical, daring faith and do something that feels not right, because deep down inside, you just believe. You don't feel it, but you believe it. Maybe your belief is tiny, but go for it. Just go for it. Just give it a shot and see what happens.